All right, so this is a suggestion via a channel member. Let's go and jump to the video immediately.
Our national crime crisis came into even sharper focus this summer with the brutal killing of Iryna Zarutska, a Ukrainian refugee. Prosecutors say a homeless man with 14 arrests stabbed to death on a commuter train. That was Charlotte, North Carolina. We're just now hearing new 911 audio from then, and we warn you, as always,
it's gonna be
hear.
wild. Let's
This man just stabbed this woman for no reason. Oh my God, he just stabbed her. That was stabbed. Yes,
I think she's dead, man. I think the girl might be dead, man. The fire truck just got here, but there's no police presence. And the guy that did it is standing over here on the ramp.
There's just a lady right now on the ground with a lot of blood. And everybody's screaming that she got stabbed. I think she's dead. I don't think she's responding.
Did you hear them describe, obviously, what she was going through, but that the person who's now suspected of doing this was
just standing
there?
He's just standing there.
Wow.
Like this was nothing. I mean, obviously, guys, we have a mental health crisis, guys. I mean, 14 arrests sounds wild. Okay, but what was he arrested for? Firstly, I mean, you can say 14 arrests, but I want to know what he was arrested for. I think that would be very important to see exactly why some individual like this was probably let out multiple times here, guys.
Horrific crime is just one of many fueling outrage over Democrats' soft on crime policies. Remember, the suspect had been arrested 14 times.
Right.
And the failures that allow career criminals to walk the streets in focus now. This week, 2 separate hearings focused on the devastating impact with emotional testimony from the grieving families left behind.
He shot my grandson in cold blood 7 times. And they didn't consider that as first-degree murder. And after everything we went through, they seem to be more sympathetic to him than us, the victims. How long do we have to suffer? This must change.
She was 5'3". She weighed 115 pounds. Bang! Dead. Gone. Why? Because Alexander Devontae Dickey, who was arrested 39 times, 25 felonies, was on the street. I will fight until my last breath for my daughter. Stop protecting the people that keep taking them from us. Please.
That's valid.
Should be like his.
Okay, guys, that is absolutely valid.
President Trump has made crime and safety key priorities and sent in federal troops to several cities. The president says the National Guard is now in Portland, Oregon, after months of nightly protesting outside a city ICE facility, because you know they've been under threat. You know that there has been violence at our immigration, customs, and enforcement facilities. Federal troops now deployed in Memphis, Tennessee, and they remain in Los Angeles as well after the summer's rioting and are still helping patrol in Washington, D.C.
Yeah, guys, we need this type of presence in many places. I'm definitely glad that we also started the categorization of who and what would be considered, let's say, the big bad guys, right? The T word in the context of this here, right? Antifa definitely probably belongs into there because, I mean, they generally show up at a protest and then everything immediately goes off the rails. I don't know what you are to expect from anarchists specifically, but there definitely needs to be some type of pushback. Again, I have no problem with the concept of protesting. Just do not do it in a violent manner. Do not destroy property. You're no longer protesting, you're rioting.
The operation in our nation's capital has so far yielded more than 1,000 people arrested. And despite that success, this is all we've been hearing from Democrats for months.
The President of the United States essentially just declared war on a major city in his own nation.
When Trump uses these authoritarian tactics in D.C., he is signaling and threatening his intent to bring them to communities across our country.
If we let them continue consolidating power and abusing the military, we know that their next targets will be anyone they deem undesirable or a threat to fascism.
This is a threat to fascism. That's just an odd thing to say here, guys. Right? A threat to fascism. When the group of people who are doing these things generally have no issue, let's say, with allowing you to say whatever you want to say, versus the other guys who end up deleting people.
The playbook for the abuse of power and the building up of an authoritarian regime.
This is what happened in the early days of the Nazi regime in Germany.
This is a power grab by the Trump administration.
We need to stand up against this fascist takeover. That's not a bad word. It's a fact.
Power panel now. Matt Gorman, Executive Vice President at Targeted Victory. Megan Hayes, former Biden Director for Message Planning. Good to see you both. You know, you can't help but ask, if there is a pushback from the left, Megan, where is the Democrats' better idea to capture more criminals, put them behind bars, and protect the American people?
Yeah, but it hurts their feelings.
So I think that there are two things at play. I think that there's the ICE raids and the immigration
Too many
raids that
people
are
are in
happening
jail. Stop
in
committing
cities, and then
crimes.
there's the
No.
National
We
Guard.
know what you think and what you think the problem is. I'm asking, where is the better plan to make it safer for America? That is a huge issue, and it's going to continue to be through the midterms. So what's the policy change coming from the left?
I don't disagree with you, and I think there needs to be policy changes. I mean, those parents' outrage is well placed. That is a huge problem. I just am not sure militarizing our cities with Marines or National Guard is solving the long-term problem. I think.
Okay, so give us an option then. All right, like other than sitting here and telling people, hey, listen, stop committing crimes, they're not going to do it. All right, like understand this here. It's not specifically indicative of a group. It's generally indicative of like multiple culture sets in the United States of America, guys, right? It is what it is here. What needs to happen immediately is we need to put a Band-Aid on things, because that's basically what the National Guard is in all these places here right now, because once they leave, it's just going to go back to being hectic and crazy again. But we can just congratulate them for the most part for saving the people's lives that would have been lost without them being there in some of these places, guys. All right. Enough talking, more action.
I think it solves a short-term problem and gives some reprieve to these cities, but I'm not sure it solves a long-term problem. And I don't want to conflate immigration raids and violence against ICE officials with actual crime that's happening in cities like Memphis.
Let's not.
Those are very different things. No violence is acceptable. I'm not saying that. I just think that there are two different arguments from Democrats, and I don't know that they have a long-term solution for crime. I'm not sure that anyone does.
Well, the things that they have in common is that the people who perpetrate the crimes against the ICE facilities have to be arrested and run through our judicial system. So they all end up going through the same place with some soft on crime policies to pat them on the back. I just want to know, when are Democrats going to advocate and present some change? Matt.
They need to do so quickly, or it's going to really impact them in the midterms. As we can see, law and order and crime are a huge thing.
I'm going to stop you there and let Matt step in.
Look,
Thank you.
The state of the Democratic Party is they treat criminals like victims and victims like afterthoughts. And in so many of these places, Memphis, Portland, city leaders have failed, so Trump needs to step in. I mean, look, I've been to Memphis. It's a great city. It's a vibrant downtown, but you go down that main strip, and to even enter the street, you have to go through metal detectors. I mean, it's a crime crisis. It absolutely is. And it's also the reality in so many of these cities. Portland, a couple of years ago, they had an autonomized zone over several city blocks. I mean, it's completely unacceptable.
I mean, they still kind of do.
Again,
but
Trump will step in if these local and city leaders won't do it. And you clearly see in city after city, they're refusing to do it and they're fighting against it. And that's wrong.
You know, the big question, too, has to do with where the public stands on this. And it would seem, since the president has that support from majority of Americans who feel like crime is now an issue. I mean, it's always been in the top 3 or 4, but now it's front and center. Matt, I'll go reverse order.
No, I agree. And look, Democrats keep falling into this trap. They did it on crime, or they did it on immigration and the economy during the Biden years, where they tell you it isn't a problem, or they cite some academic charts and say, well, what you're feeling, you're not really feeling. And they try to do it with crime this time. And again, people always respond with action, and they respond to action. And that's why you're seeing Trump be successful, putting them on the defense on this. And again, I think you're exactly right. You're going to see this drumbeat from now until next November,
in their
putting
statements.
Democrats on defense when it comes to crime. It's a very effective messaging tool. It's also the right thing to do.
So when you see someone like Mayor Muriel Bowser in D.C. begin to open the doors and work with the president on his plan to clean up crime in that district, why isn't that a good idea for Democrats across the country? Megan?
I think a lot of people don't want to see their streets being militarized, and I think there's a difference by hiring more police officers and training more police officers to patrol streets and fight crime and to change laws than it is to have military roaming our streets.
So why haven't Democrats done that?
That is a great question that I think the Democrats really need to take a hard look and figure out what they're going to do moving forward to the midterms. It's going to be an issue in the midterms that they're going to need to face.
Well, I tell you what.
Yeah, guys. I don't know if that's. I have no idea if the Democrats, like right now specifically, have the ability to even kind of look outside themselves, because generally they're so stuck in the echo chamber that they cannot see the good or bad that Trump does. They just, well, no, they can only see the bad. No, let's just say they can't see anything, because no matter what he does, it's bad. Let's just say this here. And that, for me personally, is very disingenuous, because, guys, you can definitely see that we need massive amount of help, like a massive amount of help in the majority of our inner cities, guys. It is what it is here, guys. Name the place: St. Louis, East St. Louis, Memphis, west side of Chicago, south side of Chicago, Charlotte, right? Louisiana, Baton Rouge. Louisiana, that's in the state, but let's just say specifically Baton Rouge, and New Orleans, right? We definitely need some help in a good amount of these places here. The Democrats can definitely say, hey, listen, we don't want to see military on the street. I agree with you. I have said numerous times, numerous videos, I am not a fan at all, under any circumstance, of the United States of America turning into some fifth world country where there are literally soldiers, walking down the street. But I do think until we can get but I'll be fine with it, at least here, until we can actually get kind of some control, at least, on some of these big issues here. Okay, I'm tired of people losing their lives unnecessarily, and generally, it's it's crimes that are in proximity. So it's like people killing people or ending people's lives who look just like them. It's the most ridiculous thing in the world. Not saying that you should do it to someone who doesn't look like you, but just understand this: it's ridiculous altogether. All right, we can have the conversations about, you shouldn't do this, but unfortunately, until we can actually mitigate the problem, we need something like a Band-Aid. And the National Guard into some of these places would definitely just be a Band-Aid, because again, things are going to go right back to what they were as soon as they leave. Right? It is what it is here, guys. But during that Band-Aided time, we need to kind of instill some things, guys. All right, just my opinion, obviously. I'm sure I piss people off. I always do. But either way, listen, you guys all have an absolutely amazing day. Enjoy your day thoroughly. If you guys are new here, please like and subscribe. In the meantime, I'll catch you guys later. All right?